Hello and welcome everyone to the Entrepreneurship Sports Generation, ESG for short. I'm Yashodhana Raj and I'm your host for today, and this is the UAE National Finals. We are absolutely delighted to have all of you here with us, and thank you for your time. We have a really exciting leg of the tournament planned for today, and we will shortly introduce to you what ESG is. But first of all, it definitely would not have been possible without our amazing partner, Mr. Ahmed Nasser Al Nawais. So a huge shout out to him. Mr. Ahmed Nasser Al Nawais is founder and CEO of Annex Investments. He is a UAE-based entrepreneur and business executive and a pioneer in providing innovative business solutions and advisory that supports and highlights startups. He has over 10 years of experience in providing strategic foresight and drive across venture capital, consultancy, and technology services as a founder of many startups. Ahmad is also an attorney at law for the growth and support of startups in the UAE via the involvement of HNWIs and the government entities in the tech environment sustainability. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us, Mr. Al Nawais. I'd request you to please be spotlighted and please say a few words.
Thank you, Ashu. Of course, it's a pleasure to be, to be associated with ESG, and thank you so much for choosing me as a partner here in UAE. I just, before I won't take much of your time, I just wanted to highlight a few things about the MENA region and the venture capital ecosystem. So the MENA region welcomed breaking numbers to define its fast-growing venture capital ecosystem in 2021. VC funding reached to $2.6 billion in the year, 138% more than the funding in 2020. The number of registered transactions recovered from a slight dip in 2020 to touch an all-time high of 590 deals. Amongst other records were 35 exits announced in the region in 2021, and the highest number of investors to finance venture-based across MENA. The evident shift towards late-stage deals was further solidified in 2021. MENA's three most active markets are UAE, KSA, and Egypt, and and both the average and the median round sizes were at the highest levels yet across the MENA in 2021. So, these are a few key highlights. There are three maybe mega deals that happened across the MENA region. And I think, that's about it. That's a brief about the MENA region ecosystem or VC ecosystem. Just wanted to touch base on that. And again, thank you so much, ESG, for choosing me as a partner to your event.
Thank you so much, Mr. Al Nawais. It really has been an honor for us. And as you rightly said, the MENA region is booming, and we are so happy to be able to do ESG in UAE this year. And of course, would not have been able to do it without you. We would also like to extend a warm welcome to Mr. Kirti Lal Kala, an integral part of the success of ESG and senior advisor, New Technologies, Sun Group. Mr. Kala is a technocrat, strategic advisor, an entrepreneur, and a hobbyist theater performer. His 16-year professional career spans business and development engagements at the intersection of emerging technology, public policy, and socio-economic growth. He currently serves as an in-house advisor at Sun Group and has previously worked with the Office of Advisor to the Prime Minister of India, India Electronics and Semiconductor Association, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, founded an innovative consulting firm, and has helped start up the International Institute of Information Technology, Naya Raipur. It's an absolute honor and wonderful to have you join us, Kirti. Of course, ESG is not possible without you, so over to you.
Thanks, Yashodhana, for everything that you said. That was quite a mouthful, but talk about that later. Firstly, marhaba and salam alaikum to everybody on the call. This is a pleasure to be part of this. as part of the small team that actually started ESG in 2020, and the way it's grown in leaps and bounds, we're extremely happy about how it's progressing. If I'm not wrong, this is the first national event in the Gulf region. So congratulations to all of you for becoming the first players in the UAE National Finals for ESG 2022. Just to say a few words as to why we came up with this effort and where things are heading as we go forward from here. The core idea, as you would have seen again and again, just to repeat it once more, is to make sure that we as entrepreneurs and business leaders are leaving a better planet for the future, and that's the reason the core purpose of ESG is to bring forward companies which are addressing any of the UN SDGs in one form or the other, and are hopefully going to leave a better planet for everybody after we are dead. Not today, probably, but after we are dead as well. That's the core objective. The second element of it, and since we've been part of a lot of entrepreneurship focused and startup focused efforts globally, not just here in India or in the US or in Europe or Russia for that matter, where the Sun Group has a good amount of presence, we realized that it had become boring and stale. It's just a pitching competition. People come and go. That's why we kind of sportified the entire effort, right? That's why we call it an entrepreneurship sports generation effort, right? You're split into national teams. You're actually vying to play it like you play soccer or football. Qatar is hosting the FIFA World Cup next year, so I'm trying to use that balance to bring that into this. You'll be competing with, from here on, you'll be competing at the confederation level, where you'll represent, I'm assuming, Asia as an entire confederation, and from there on you'll vie for glory at the global level. So it's a very interesting mix of things that we've tried to bring together. The team is there. Yashodhana has been a good anchor for this entire effort all over the place. But if through the process, if you guys think there is something that we can do better or something that we can improve upon, please do let us know. We are more than happy to take that into account. And best of luck to all of you, and look forward to seeing you not just in UAE during my next visit, wherever you are, or maybe beyond that as we go ahead, and look forward to working with all of you together as a group. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kirti, and very rightly put. And of course, ESG is growing, changing, evolving over the years, and having everyone like you join us is really what we do ESG for. And just to highlight really what is ESG, and give you a bit of an idea of why we are doing ESG. So over the next decade, we need to create over 1 billion jobs and ensure we leave a better planet for the future generations, as highlighted by the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We believe that entrepreneurial initiatives are the solution to these pressing issues. The ESG community is on a mission to help the entrepreneurs grow and become global enterprises, creating the better future all of us aspire for. ESG is a flagship initiative of the Global Education and Leadership Foundation, TGALF for short. At TGALF, we have been working over the past 2 decades to groom ethical and altruistic leaders globally. Through our entrepreneurship initiatives in the past 5 years, we have impacted more than 500,000 startups globally. For us at TGALF, supporting entrepreneurship and innovation has always been one of the core areas of operation. ESG reimagines entrepreneurship as sport through a uniquely designed year-long multi-level and tier competition consisting of city, national, and confederation events that concludes with an action-packed, highly produced, entirely virtual global finals. For ESG, we have put together a rewards basket for all participants globally. We express our gratitude to all our partners who have joined hands with us. We commit to collectively support all enterprises who have become part of the ESG movement in achieving global scale and global reach. The reward bouquet will be available on our platform. So for the entrepreneurs, you need to ensure you're registered on the platform to avail the perks and rewards. And kindly note that since it's a multi-layered competition with multiple stages, the rewards will be unlocked only after the global finals conclude. You will be hearing from us about this. And it also gives me great pleasure to introduce the world's to-do list. So working with Project Everyone, ESG is the official accelerator to the world's to-do list, an initiative launched during the 76th UN General Assembly in 2021, where many leading companies, including Unilever, Google, Reckitt, Mars, have come together to support the UN SDGs. And we are very happy to continue our association with the world's to-do list, and hopefully we achieve the UN SDGs by 2030. So let's begin the movement as we all come together today to play for planet with ESG UAE National Finals. Today, we are pleased to have 3 jury members who are experts in their fields, and it is my pleasure to introduce them. We have Mr. Ali Rampurwala, Head of Private Equity Abu Dhabi Capital Group. Ali has over 15 years of global investing track record across early stage to buyout. He leads private investments for a large family office in Abu Dhabi. Personally, he has also manages a syndicate of 1,500 LPs, which has invested over $5 million across 30 startups in the past 15 months. He himself has invested in over 180 startups since 2017 and is a board member at one of the most active early stage VCs globally. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us today, Mr. Rampurwala. Also in our jury today is Mr. Chetan Mehta, CEO of Vami Capital, the family office of the Transworld Group, and currently based in Dubai. Till date, he has invested in around more than 60 startups across India, Israel, UAE, and US, and across multiple sectors like edtech, fintech, health tech, e-commerce, blockchain, etc. Chetan is also an angel investor himself with investments in 25 plus startups and mentors aspiring entrepreneurs. He has 2 decades of advisory and consulting experience and 11 years with EY. He's advised MNCs on restructuring of cross-border operations, M&As, IPO planning, as well as providing strategic approach to complex issues. It's an absolute pleasure and honor to have you with us, Mr. Mehta. And our last but not least, of course, it's an honor to have you with us today as our jury, Mr. Obidia Aiton, who is a managing partner at Synaptech, which is an Abu Dhabi-based technology fund. Mr. Aiton, in his career, has completed $750 million worth of transactions in advisory. He successfully completed over $500 billion of advisory and financial transactions across Europe, USA, and MENA region as a former executive of a private equity firm called Tenor Holding. He raised capital for the Bezos Family Foundation anchored fund, High Post Capital, together with Mark Bezos as general partner. It's an absolute honor to have you with us today, Mr. Aiton. And that is our jury for today. We are very excited to have them be part of ESG UAE. And before we jump into our pitches and have our entrepreneurs really take the spotlight for today, I would just like to point out and quickly remind everyone about our rules for today. For our entrepreneurs, you will have 3 minutes to pitch and 3 minutes for the Q&A session with the jury. You will be controlling your presentation yourself for your convenience. So please keep yourself on mute when you are not speaking and keep your video on when presenting to ensure an interactive experience. And just to check, we will be checking our closed caption once more. I'll request our team to try our closed caption. Lovely. So I think we are all ready with our closed caption and our entrepreneurs as well. And now, without further ado, let us proceed to the pitches for today. We will start with Alma Health. It is your time to pitch. I'd request you to please start sharing your screen.
Hello, everyone. Can you see me?
Yes,
Hello?
we can see. Hi, Kalden.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. I'll request you to slideshow so we can see it in a full screen.
Absolutely. Can you see my screen?
Yes. And please go ahead with your pitch now.
Great. Thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Ahmed, for inviting me to this tournament. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I'd like to tell you quickly about Alma Health, and I'll try to do that in less than 3 minutes. So Alma Health is a proven direct-to-patient primary healthcare provider that is digital and that is on a mission to transform the lives of millions of people living with chronic conditions. We launched in the middle of the pandemic, and since then, the growth has been meteoric in terms of the number of users and the revenue that we had generated. So for example, in the past 6 months, we've more than doubled the business at 40% gross margins and 40 LTV over CAC. We are available in Abu Dhabi, the market that we have been operating in the most since our launch. We recently launched Dubai and Cairo, and our eyes are set on Riyadh. Before I dive deeper into the business, I'd like to tell you about the problem that we are solving. So as I mentioned earlier, we are a healthcare provider that is focused on transforming the lives of people living with chronic conditions. So those are patients that we believe have a very different need from somebody living with a non-chronic condition or an acute condition. They are people living with a condition that requires a lot of attention, requires a lot of care, and deep interactions and frequent interactions with the healthcare system. Their life with a condition sometimes can be difficult, filled with prescriptions, appointments, and in general, constant stress. It's a huge market in this part of the world, unfortunately. Saudi, UAE, Kuwait, Egypt sit at the top of the list when it comes to the prevalence of chronic conditions in the entire world. And we are on a mission to simplify and transform the lives of all the people living with these conditions, such as diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, and clinical depression. So today, Alma Health offers someone living with a chronic condition with the full virtual healthcare experience from end to end. That means we offer them with the virtual clinic, where they speak with dedicated general practitioners and specialists working full-time for Alma Health. We have virtual labs that go to the patient's home and they do a sample blood collection. We also have the dark pharmacies that deliver the prescription medication right to the patient's doorstep. And this is how we offer the end-to-end virtual experience to someone living with a chronic condition. Of course, all of our services are virtual, and we are accepted by the major health insurance providers in the UAE. We want to replicate this in Egypt and in Saudi. So not only do we offer the patient a convenient healthcare experience that is digital first, it's also fully covered by their insurance provider. So this is who we are in a nutshell. I would love to get more questions and comments from the panel and the attendees.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Khaldan. And I will now request our jury, I'll request you to please stop sharing your screen. And I will request our jury members to be added here. Over to you, jury.
Yeah, thanks. Can you tell us more about, who are the other players in the space and, what is competition like?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So we are different because we are a fully integrated and verticalized healthcare provider. So we are not a platform. We are not an aggregator like the many players in the market. We are the actual provider, and therefore our unit economics are stronger and much larger because we focus on fulfilling prescriptions for chronic conditions such as diabetes and hypertension. The competitors in the market are platforms, not the actual provider. And they also focus on solving one aspect of the problem in the journey of the patient. So they may offer the virtual consultation, but not the dark pharmacy. They may offer last mile delivery of the prescription, but not the lab from home. And we are different because we are fully verticalized in chronic care.
Can I jump in and ask a question? I always say the biggest thing we need to know about Tesla is the user retention on who's going to buy a battery car again after they first used it. So the same question is for humans, right? When I get ill or if I have an illness, I'd like to see a person. It gives me a lot of confidence. So since Abu Dhabi 2021, what's the retention been and the retention growth of some of those early customers?
Yeah, so if you look at the 12-month retention, it's been 50%. So we have shown and demonstrated very strong retention numbers for the chronic cohorts. Of course, when we launched the business, we started learning about how to target someone living with a chronic condition and how to focus on the experience of someone living with a chronic conditions. But with time, you can see that the retention numbers have been improving for the cohort that is chronic, as well as the average revenue per user. So every time the patient comes back and uses the Alma Health service, their average prescription value have been going up. Their number of interactions with the GP or the specialist have been going up as well. So we have the data to show just that.
Hey, Khaldun, if I may, thank you so much for that background. Very impressive business model. I have multiple questions. If you maybe you want to write them down. I don't think you spend any time on the team itself. Like, what is your background, and do you have co-founders or are you a solo founder? That'd be great if you can mention that. Okay.
Sorry.
What is the background of this team in terms of why you're best placed to do this? That's
Yes.
one. You can answer it in any order. You want me to rattle all the questions, or you want to answer it first? Either way is fine.
I can tackle the first one. Both my co-founder and I have moved to the region from North America because we had seen the explosive growth of the tech ecosystem in this part of the world. We have both worked at technology companies in the region with the biggest exits. So I worked with Kareem as head of strategy for the most important markets within the network, and that exited to Uber. Obviously, I spent there 6 years, and my co-founder worked for Dubizol, and that exited to Naspers. He's more on the product and technology side of the business, while I'm the CEO looking after fundraising and strategy.
Great. Thanks for that. The second, you mentioned the TAM is $50 billion. What is the real TAM addressable to you, right? I mean, $50 billion is the total chronic conditions across the UAE, I'm guessing, or the region. I forgot that chart that you showed. What is an addressable market relative to Alma Health's business, though?
So the $50 billion market is the primary care market for chronic conditions. And we believe this is our TAM in the UAE, Egypt, as well as Saudi, because we are a primary healthcare provider that focuses on chronic care.
And just last two questions. So you have a rate or a multiplier from the insurance companies? Like, how do you get reimbursed, and what that multiple ends up being as compared to a patient showing up to a full service hospital? That's one. And then are these doctors on your payroll, or are they part-time associated with you?
Yeah, so because the GCC has a very high insurance penetration rate, the majority of our patients in the UAE actually go through their insurance. So we fully accept their insurance. And to us, that's a competitive moat, accepting their insurance network. And therefore, we offer them with a convenient experience. And that experience is fully covered or fully paid by their insurance plan. So this is the first part answer to your question. The second part is the biggest risk is the insurance, because that's our biggest payer, obviously. And we do have a discount factor with the insurance companies. Today, we started at the highest range of that discount because we're still a new provider. But with time, with our focus, we believe we will have more leverage in order to renegotiate these discount factors, take them to a lower end of the range, and of course, boost our margins.
Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Rampurwala. Unfortunately, I will have to end the Q&A round right now, but we will be more than happy to have the Q&A continuing later as well. And just really quickly, I'd just like to point out—
take some questions offline. Thank you so much.
We will be doing that after the competition and the event. And I'd just like to remind our jury members to please, continue evaluating our entrepreneurs while they're presenting or responding to your questions. And we can see that our jury is very excited today to learn more about what you're doing. So we will be increasing the time for all of our entrepreneurs for the Q&A to 4 minutes, which we have now be doing. And now over to our next pitch for today. We are very excited to have HCMS technology, and we will be having Dr. Abdullah pitch. Thank you for sharing, Dr. Abdullah, and over to you.
Thank you so much for having me. So worldwide, there are about 100 million jobs will be lost due to artificial intelligence, and about 65% of people graduating in the next 5 to 10 years will have jobs that does not exist today. This is according to the top 4 on the World Economic Forum. And the best way to solve this issue is obviously upskilling and building skills. And this is where we come in. HCMS stands for Human Capital Management Systems, and we are a skill intelligent platform. So we were founded in 2020. We received about 12 awards to date. I would like to highlight that we are one of top 4 emerging technology startups in the UAE, and we received the first prize in His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Award for the best research in HR. I'm the founder and CEO, and this is, by the way, is a spin-off from my PhD research, which I received from the MIT and Masdar Institute Corporate Program. We are 12 employees. We have 12 employees, 2 PhDs for a master's and 6 bachelors. And currently the team gender distribution is 35% females. We're targeting 50% females, inshallah, by next year. We have access to a pool of seasoned AI, data analytics, and talent management leading experts from across the globe. Dr. George Westerman is the head of MIT Sloan, and the others come from very well-known and top-notch educational institutions across the globe. So what we do is basically we provide 3 modules: the human capital management, which helps human resource management systems to do better recruitment, mobility, succession planning, and then the upskilling, reskilling, where we match talents to specific upskilling and reskilling routes. And then the last one is the market insights. We do everything we provide it as an API, so we are a SaaS model. Anything in the form of text, we analyze it and provide it as a skill, and we help employees, learning and development manager, recruiters, and so on. How we do that is basically we map, and then we do the assessment, and then we empower to do the upskilling and reskilling through the platform. We basically increase productivity and increase retention, and we increase the return on investment spent over learning and development. We reduce hiring time and acceptance rate and hiring cost. Those are the 4 domains we are targeting. Currently, we have education institutions, government and private sectors through human resource management systems, service providers, students and talent, and HR authorities. This is our roadmap. I'd like to jump into and to highlight most of it, inshallah, after the pitch, because we have the limitation of time. 5 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, and the 4th of the UAE Next 50, and 7 objectives of the Abu Dhabi Economic Vision are at the center of our NDA. Those are our strategic partners, Udacity, Fifth Element, and Youth, and we are together helping more than about 2 million learners to have better learning experience. Our ultimate vision is to link the labor market with the education institution to create synergy through the utilization of artificial intelligence to foster the return on investment in education. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdullah. I'd request you to stop screen share, and I'll welcome the jury. Thank you so much, jury. Over to you.
Thanks, Abdullah, for presenting at CMS. Only one question. Can you elaborate a little bit on the SaaS model? What is the contract sizes and retention so far? But also, are these longer term contracts that you have?
Are these, sorry, come again?
Are the contracts long term?
Yes, the minimum contract that we have is 6 months, and we're currently on about closing 500,000 dirhams. We just started this year after the official initiation last year. So we're currently doing a contract with a semi-government entity that has a government contract where they are empowering 1,000 students to have a better job over here. I would like to elaborate more that what we do is not another human resource management system, and we are not a learning management system. We sit in the middle and we orchestrate the whole journey through the analysis of skills and competencies. And we do that through the modules. So we take $5 to $10 per person per month, dependent on the contract size.
Can you explain a little bit more about the relationship between yourself and the education, I guess the skills and the qualifications? Because obviously for us, if we want a job in the future, we like a qualification because that makes us more competitive over the person next to me. So can you explain the relationship between all of that?
So I'd like to start by explaining the backend. So what we have is about 3,100 standardized classification of occupations. This includes over 40,000 skills and competencies assigned to each one of the job profiles. And from there, we have a system which does the matching, the natural language processing, and this is one of the value propositions that we have. And from there, we can assign the perfect talents to perfect jobs. And even when we analyze the skills gap, we can assign those gaps to the perfect upskilling opportunities. And that's why we have the Udacity, eYouth, and Fifth Element as partners.
Can you elaborate what are the margins which you are making, and also how are you acquiring customers?
So we acquire customers either through HRMS service provider. So let's say any service provider in the field of recruitment, mobility, succession planning. We're actually signing a deal with one of the top startups in the field of HRMS from India, just as we speak. Inshallah, within the coming month, we will announce it. What we do is we empower the process. So the recruitment, you need to match talents to specific jobs. For mobility, you need to, again, to match talents to specific jobs for mobility, and even for the succession planning. So we analyze the skills and competencies of those job profiles. We analyze skills and competencies of the talents, and we do the matching. If we see the gap, which is all through the system, we assign those talents to the upskilling opportunities through our partners. When it comes to the educational institution, we've seen that there is a huge gap between what's given in the education institution and what's needed in the job market. And that's what we are currently doing. We have 2 pilots with 2 of the biggest universities in the UAE, and inshallah we will get back to you with the outcomes very soon.
And so what kind of margins do you make in this business?
So it's $5 to $10 per head. What we are currently doing is, if your question is basically what's our margin of what we
percentage terms, yeah.
Currently, our percentage is about 55% net.
Okay.
On the contract.
Okay, wonderful. Any final questions? Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Abdullah. Thank you, jury. We will be proceeding to our next pitch for today. A quick reminder, milestone-based, you are up next, that we will have a 3-minute pitch and a 4-minute Q&A round. Requesting Ian to please be spotlighted, and please share your screen, Ian.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
All good. Are you ready to pitch?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, then please go ahead.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ian Arden. I represent a company called Milestone Based, which stands for More Aligned Funding. Milestone Based has been accelerated by the multiple entities in the crypto world. Milestone Based itself is focusing on the blockchain ecosystem, and I'll explain more what it is. Basically, it's a way for the founders to be able to say, hey, here is our roadmap, here are our funding needs, and here are the milestones explaining how we are planning to achieve this. So once the funding is happening, there is a smart contract element to it that is acting like an escrow system. And then any funding is going towards the escrow system and is being released for the execution of the particular milestones. And there is a DAO type of the governance system around it, where the DAO participants are able to vote for the execution of the milestones and the change in the roadmaps, which means that it is serving for the better governance of the private and public organizations. We are primarily focusing the crypto VC funding space. It's a multi-billion space so far. Of course, cyclical, depending on the liquidity on the market. So the key idea is that if anything is like if everything goes well with the startups, they keep receiving the tranche funding, and if it's not going well, then there is a way to roll back the roadmap and redistribute the funding elsewhere. About myself, so I've launched many companies in the past. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I've been in the crypto space since 2017. Full time, we've been through the crypto bull runs, the bear market, so we know how it goes. As well as the team behind the startup, we are more than 20 team members distributed globally, with part of the team in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. And we've got the advisors who are from the fintech space, venture capital space, and crypto world, as well as a member of Wilson Sonsini, one of the most reputable law companies in the United States for the tech out of Silicon Valley. So the problem that we are tackling has been clearly defined by Bits Libertarian, where the startups receiving the funding in the crypto space are actually like oftentimes mismanage it, or even if you know, a small part of the community or the founders are mismanaging the proceeds, it creates a lot of fear, uncertainty in the market, and really people become upset about their crypto investments. So what we have built is a system that is currently fully functional. We've got the users on board, both VCs and startups, where they are able to track the execution of the roadmaps and get aligned around it. Every time when you want, yep.
Thank you, Ian. Time's up. If you want to just quickly final line.
Yeah, the final thought is that we stand for the same purpose of creating more jobs through the entrepreneurship, because one of the key features of the platform is the roadmap library, where entrepreneurs can learn from others, and institutions such as accelerators or banks. We actually have Silicon Valley Bank pilot project pending. They are able to serve to the so far underserved community and educate them around the entrepreneurship, track their execution, and deploy funding as they see the progress. Thank you.
Wonderful.
That's it.
Thank you so much. Now requesting you to please stop screen sharing.
Yeah.
And welcoming the jury to
stop sharing. Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead, jury.
Hey, Ian, thank you so much for that pitch. Just two questions. So on the previous startups that you've done, you have any exits there? What is the DAO angle to this, and are you only limited to Web3?
Yeah, so I had access in the past. I've been the entrepreneur and the technology co-founder and partner since 2006. The exits have been in the Web2 space, Web3 space. We've accelerated multiple projects. So of course, like, we are holding, you know, plenty of projects in our portfolio where we were making partial exits through the liquidity in the token space. Now, your next question was about the limits to Web2 versus Web3. So we are tackling the Web3 space as a way to prove the business model and test everything out. But eventually, we are targeting the conventional space, both the venture capital world, private equity world, and venture debt. We've spoken to the startup banks, and they are really interested in using the platform to match their venture debt with the funding that the startups receive. So when the time is right to quit the Web3 and go beyond it to the Web2 and more conventional fintech, we'll be there.
Thanks, Ian. I guess I'm a big user of PitchBook, and I'm sure Ali and Cheta may be. So we get valuable data around the venture scene with them. So what I'm trying to understand is you're specifying towards the Web3 crypto angle. Is there any integration on the back end with like Etherscan, which gives you more specific data rather than the roadmap of each company? I would guess that's the question, is what does that look like in the future, rather than me just going onto a platform and seeing the roadmap of of a product or
a great question. Yep, every roadmap is a separately deployed smart contract, and all the events and transactions with that smart contract is openly traceable with Etherscan or BSC scan, depending on which network you're deployed to. Moreover, we are planning to sign up the roadmap functionality as the Ethereum request for comments, and strive for the generally adopted vision where the entire community would synchronize, use this format as a protocol, build on top of it, while the user interface that we would build would be, of course, our proprietary solution with the further revenue model implementation.
Brilliant. And quickly, do you envision, I would call it the primary and secondary markets of private companies being available through tokenization? Are you kind of factoring that into your roadmap?
Yeah, we are staying realistic though. We think it will take time for the compliance to happen, but milestone-based, at milestone-based, we are thinking to actually expedite that by talking with the regulators and showing this as the perfect example to bring more compliance to the crypto space where they would become more accountable. My personal aspiration for like how I see milestone based as well is because I'm the co-founder, passive co-founder to many other companies where I've deployed capital, is to use this tool as a very simple board management solution for where we set up the agreements between the shareholders saying, hey, you're the CEO, you'll have to get to this point and you'll get more funding from us, the passive investors, passive co-founders. And then like the governance in the private company is happening through the platform by using the digital signatures. There may be a token play to it where the token only represents the like the voting power, not necessarily like any liquidity aspect of it. But we know of the players in the space, such as T0, Securitize, and others, Securrency, for example, in Abu Dhabi, who are merging this experimental Web3 with the conventional space, and will be there to help them on this mission.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ian, and thank you so much, Jury. We are now going to take a short break. We have done our 3 pitches for today. So I will request us to take just a mini break of a couple of minutes, and then we will be proceeding to the rest of the pitches. And so just please be patient with us. And just a reminder that we will have 3 minutes to pitch and 4 minutes Q&A round. And we will be back in a couple of minutes. So I will be just muting myself. But if you do have any questions, please feel free to add it in the chat. Thank you. So we will be, at the moment, sending our jury to a quick breakout room. Jury, we will be sending you to a breakout room. And while we do that, we will be having our entrepreneurs in the main room for a couple of minutes. All right, so I think our jury is in the breakout room. And yeah, so we will proceed with our break for a few minutes. And in the meantime, just would like to say thank you guys for joining us. And we will love to tell you a bit more about ESG, which we will also be doing later today. But really, you know, the vision of ESG and the reason why we're doing entrepreneurship sports generation is because entrepreneurs are creating jobs, entrepreneurs are supporting the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And the entrepreneurs that we really want to support, conscious entrepreneurship, is vital to solve the global challenges of today. So that's the main aim of entrepreneurship post generation. But when we do talk about entrepreneurship, we wanted to give it a little bit of a flavor of excitement, a flavor of gamification and sportification, and really, marry the world of sports and entrepreneurship in this tournament that we do every year since 2020. And that's where ESG started in 2020 during the pandemic, when we were able to do it virtually in multiple parts around the world. And then we end up with a highly produced virtual global finals event, where we will be showing you a few clips on that as well later today during our event. But it's just wonderful to have you be part of this, to have our first MENA National Finals this year. So very, very excited, and very, looking forward to the rest of our pitches for today. And a huge shout out to all of our entrepreneurs that have already pitched for today. So we will be just taking a few minutes more, and thank you for your patience. Okay, I think we are ready for the next part of the event. Thank you guys for your patience. Thank you for bearing with us. A few of these, tech issues do tend to happen. So we do appreciate everyone just being there and continuing to stay in our main room while we wait. So our jury is joining us back after a quick breakout session. We'll just wait for them to come. And after that, we will be having my Ciara. So Chiranj, it will be your turn to pitch. And yes, we have already spotlighted you. Let's just wait for the jury, please.
Sure thing.
Great. Hi, Ali. Hi. We have OBDI as well. And waiting for our final jury is here too. Can we please have Mr. Mehta back in the main room? Okay.
Students, you have more time to prepare while we wait,
No,
I guess. It's like
I think
practice your pitch.
I got an unfair advantage.
It's pretty cool to take notes, learn from everybody else who went before you. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so I think we have everyone. Yes, we are back. I apologize for that minor little glitch, but we are back on track. We're back with our second part of the event. And I'll now request you, Chiranj, to please screen share. A quick reminder, you will have 3 minutes to pitch, and that'll be followed by a 4-minute Q&A. And would you like to make that a full screen? Perfect.
Yep, of course.
Great. Over to you, Chiranj.
Hey guys. So my name is Shin Chandran, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of MySierra. Like my co-founders, I'm a second-time automotive entrepreneur with an exit as well. So just to start off, MySierra is in a fairly new industry called automotive tech or auto tech. Our company is comprised of 3 verticals: a B2C vertical where we solve car ownership problems. We solve high convenience and fairly priced services such as doorstep car wash, pickup and drop service and repair, and the entire slew of car ownership services. On the second vertical, B2B, we actually solve garage owner supply chain problems. So the garages that we aggregate to get the works done, we actually sell spare parts and consumables back to them. And in the last vertical, which is a B2B2C vertical, we're actually building technologies for the wider automotive ecosystem. So I'll just tell you a little bit into why we got into this is because we saw a macro trend in the industry. Used cars are outselling new cars. The average age of a car has hit 11.9 years. And locally, this is kind of amplified, where out of 4 cars, 3 are used, 1 car is new, and which means majority of these cars on the road don't have a warranty service package. And the automotive industry has been historically quite fragmented and unorganized. And that's where we fix it. So the car owner, I'm sure this is relatable to most people on this call. It's time consuming owning a car and maintaining it. It's expensive, it's difficult to trust garages. Our solution is very simple. It's pickup and drop services, very customer-centric user interface. We've got checkout in 3 clicks, as well as automated service reminders and updates. On the garage side, we realize that garages are innately quite weak at customer management, but they're great at fixing cars. We're helping them by attracting more customers, giving them a predictable customer inflow, selling spare parts back to them, as well as giving them payment solutions and garage operation management solutions. So another great way to talk about sustainable customer acquisition, we actually acquire these customers quite cheap using car wash, and then we wait for them to horizontally purchase on our platform, which happens roughly after 3 months, and the ticket size evolves. I'm just going to skip this slide because I think we're quite strict on time, but this is the kind of LTV that we capture from each customer on our platform and each vehicle on our platform. So we have retention tools on the B2C side, which actually fuels the growth for the other verticals. We've got a subscription package where people have a Netflix for car ownership kind of approach, where all their services are tied in a monthly package. We've got warranty systems that have beyond dealership capacity of coverage, as well as service levels. As well as the way we scale is via partnerships. Our biggest partner is actually ExxonMobil out of the US, as well as a lot of local partners where we use their extended network to actually capitalize on our growth. The way we differentiate, we're an ecosystem player. We're not just digitizing one aspect of the car ownership experience. We're taking the ecosystem by far, and we realize that we're building the digital foundations of this industry. I'm joined by my team of very excellent individuals, 5 co-founders, as well as a 6th co-founder joining us on acquisition of a Saudi entity, as well as a great team of advisory, key investors, and board members from in their personal capacity representing financial institutions, as well as other automotive institutions. So just to give you a little bit of our growth, this is a slightly older deck, but we're currently going to be reaching 100,000 users on the B2C angle next month. We've got a virtual inventory on the supply chain of $100 million, as well as a small physical inventory. as well as we've just begun to monetize on the technology front via SaaS models.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chiranj.
Sure.
Your time is up, unfortunately, but
No,
thank
that's
you for
all
your
right.
pitch.
Yeah,
I'll
thanks.
request you to please stop screen sharing.
Sure.
Perfect. Welcome, jury. Over to you.
Thanks for the presentation. Very good. I've actually seen some of your promotion when I'm driving around Dubai. My initial question would be on cost of acquisition versus first primary cost, because I can see that you're looking to upsell once you win the customer. I mean, that's the benefit, right? You're looking to upsell a range of these products, but what's the cost of acquiring that user? And then what's the first primary cost that they're being charged?
So we're marketing positive. Our CPI at the moment is around $4, and our average ticket size on the car wash comes up to around $17, but the first service is $7. But the interesting thing is that we're actually adopting completely new strategies for acquisition. I'm not a big believer in digital marketing and acquiring by digital marketing. I see that a car ownership is a big problem today. And one of the platforms we're coming out with and being pilot tested is Building Car Wash, where we're empowering the current service provider in buildings to adopt our technology and mine the data off of the car owners from there. And then obviously getting into the food chain of horizontally selling to them.
Hey, Chiranj, thank you so much for that great presentation. On your competitive landscape slide, you mentioned Odigo. I don't know if you know Odigo switched off to something else. Do you know why they switched off? Like why couldn't they get the business model right? They had the same business model. What did they do wrong, and what are you doing right?
Sure. So I think the last slide, which I just cut out on, actually answered that. The idea is that being an ecosystem player has economies of scale. Odigo on my competitive landscape was mentioned as defunct. And I believe that they got into the trading enterprise quite quickly, where you need to leverage the trading organization. We leverage it by owning the customer or the end user and leveraging the supply chain upwards. So very few players in the automotive tech industry are doing this and doing this quite horizontally.
Can I ask that? Do you lease the vehicles, the service vehicles, or do you acquire them, or is the acquiring something roadmap?
So all of our we're extremely asset light, which means that any independent any service provider is a contracted party, or we have a partnership with them. So we actually don't have any vehicles that are running around. It's all an independent contracted party.
I saw that you're also in India. Are you also in India?
Yeah, we have a small test market, and this is interesting because we have a particular fondness of emerging markets and large markets. So in order to get into Saudi, we tested in the hometown of my co-founder, where we have a natural benefit because he has infrastructure and stuff. What we saw was that India is a Goliath of its own. So we're actually, we've sold off 50% of that company. So we're taking the significant minority and letting them scale forward using our branding and tech stack, etc. And this model of growth is actually what we will be growing through the ExxonMobil network as well to other regions.
Just one last question, Chiranj. A bunch of models that I've seen in this space are either building on the B2C side or the B2B side. You're doing B2C, B2B, and B2B2C, right? Is it too many things to solve for that at the same time? Is there a flywheel effect that you can see already happening as a result of doing this, or is it that you want to be everything to everybody at the moment?
Absolutely. What I can put out there is that we've raised about $2 million worth of capital up now, and we're doing about $8 million in ARR, which means that flywheel effect is just right there. We acquired this spare parts company a year ago, and it's actually now the revenue leader within our 3 verticals. And we hope to see by the end of next year, our technology division taking up that slack because it's way more scalable and it's not really bricks and clicks, it's more clicks. But yes, the flywheel effect definitely is there.
Great.
Sure. Thank you, guys.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, jury. Thank you, Chiranj. And we will be moving on to our next pitch for today, Ocean Drive. I will request you to, spotlight Anna. Hi, Anna. Could you please
Hello, everybody. Yes, sure.
Perfect.
Yeah, do you see my screen?
Absolutely. Over to you, Anna. Best of luck.
Yes, thank you. Okay, pleasure meeting all of you. So today we'll be talking about the Ocean Drive, which is basically the innovative financial platform. And it includes several segments, including lending borrowing protocol, about which we'll be talking with you today. So basically, Ocean Drive's motivation is to make financial world accessible for everyone, not giving credits to the place of birth or to any kind of other personal related issues. Here you can see why we have chosen the first item of our platform as lending borrowing platform. So basically you can see the market size and trends here. You see how popular lending borrowing platforms are and how they are growing. Basically, if talk about what we are going to help our users with is to first, the low transaction costs. We are built on Binance Smart Chain, which allows us to significantly reduce the costs. Also, you see there the comparison between different chains and how costly or not they basically are. And also the amount of transactions per day. So you see that Binance Smart Chain is basically the most popular chain for users because it's the most beneficial. Also, we'll have the fast transaction speeds, which allow our users to use the platform faster and secure. Also, we are going to add multiple assets here. So our users will be able to enjoy the wide variety of different coins and tokens and basically trade them, deposit them, get loans, and so on. If talk about the features themselves, basically there's no lending borrowing platform on Binance Smart Chain, which includes all of them. So first we'll have the instant loans, which is the huge beneficial for those who are traders, especially for arbitrage traders. It allows them to enjoy all the abilities to earn money through this. We'll have high yield opportunities, so we'll give higher interest for most of the tokens. We'll have the swift interest rate shifting and limit orders, which will allow users to use our platform as kind of the exchange as well and sell and trade their deposits and loans with the best income for them. We also have our native Ocean Drive token, but I won't be paying too much attention to this right now because of the time limits. You can see there the token economy, Western schedule, and so on. If talk about our roadmap and the team, basically we have scaled our vision of Ocean Drive from the start of just the lending borrowing to the platform which unites all the people in the financial world and empowers them with the ability to have their own control over their finances. Also, if talk about the team, basically we are, for the majority of the world, we are anonymous, but if talk about who we are very long. Yeah, we are pretty long in this sector, and we are basically the serial startup builders. We executed with our team most of the more than 300 different startups, and we definitely know how to build business in this world.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. We came up with our ideas.
Unfortunately, I will have to cut you off right now, but thank you so much for your pitch and for inviting the jury into our room. Yes, over to you, jury.
So, Anna, thanks for the take. So what have you seen over the last 6 months with whatever is happening in the crypto space? How your business model has been impacted because of that?
Yeah, basically one of the features that we want to implement into our platform is the insurance that can be provided by the single individuals or any kind of banks or any other authorities. Why I'm talking about this is because the huge amount of liquidations that happened with lending borrowing platforms, for instance, when other tokens and coins started to fall and different VCs, for instance, like 3 Arrows Capital or lending borrowing platforms that had deposits needed to cover them. And how it works generally in the space of lending borrowing platforms is that when your deposit falls and it's lesser amount than actually what you borrowed, you just get liquidated. If talk about us, we want to secure our users from this and allow them to get kind of insurance from other users or institutions that will be based on the platform. And this will allow them to secure their investments, secure their finances, and won't allow them to get suddenly liquidated or something like this in the case of the financial limit. This is one of the spaces where we see the improvement.
But thank you so much, Anna. I guess it's just piggybacking on that point itself. Like, so isn't it this model works better when the market only continues to go up, which is not the case anymore? How do you in a market that's so volatile, how do you take risk on this, right, when you are underwriting and to give people loans?
Can you repeat the question, please?
In a market that's volatile, so lending works great on the DeFi space when market is only going in one side, right, one direction, because you are the margin taker and you're basically taking margin. But in a market that's extremely volatile, how does that work, and how does your platform kind of play risk in that space?
Yeah, basically we'll be working not only with crypto, but we'll be working with the conventional institutions. So for instance, we will be working with banks and fintech platforms that are already interested in us. And if we talk, for instance, about ADGM, we have connections there as well, and they're really bullish in DeFi. And so we plan to get them into our ecosystem too. So this will allow us to compensate the volatility of crypto with the traditional institutions that are present in the world already.
Right,
but that's a great question. Thank you.
Jury, any more questions?
Not for me. Thank you.
Mr. Mehta, any
Yes,
questions?
thank you very much.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Jury. Thank you so much, Anna. And we will now be moving to our next pitch for today. And our next pitch for today is URent. Can we spot? Yes. Hi, Omar.
Hi, everyone. First, I want to say very inspiring startups. Good job on everyone. It was great watching you all pitch.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep things very, am I allowed to start or?
Yeah, no, I just request you to maybe screen share, or if this is, Zoom, full screen.
Oh, sorry.
Or if this is fine with you, then you can go ahead as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine. Can everyone see this clearly?
We can see it. Please go ahead.
Yeah, okay, all right. Let me just do, oh, you mean slide? Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead. So allow me to introduce myself. My name is Omar. I'm the founder and CEO of URent. I founded this company at the age of 22. I'm an industrial engineer. I specialize in front-end UI UX development. So I pretty much developed the whole front end of my app. I then hired my own in-house team to develop the rest of the product. Quick preview of the product. So what URent really is, in short, is the Airbnb of mobility. I created the Airbnb experience in the mobility space, to where we offer multi-categories available for all the renters to navigate from and rent. But what we also focused on is we focused on a mobility solution or a business solution that helps businesses fully operate their business on the platform. So fleet management system, set their own price, set their own rules, set all the parameters that they need, which is then real-time reflected on the homepage for the renters to look at and navigate. Executive summary of the business is we launched so I started developing the product at the age of 22, launched it at the age of 25, basically launched in February 2021. We've managed to generate a total revenue of $2.65 million to date. And by the end of October, we are supposed to exceed 10 million dirhams in total revenue. The model works. A lot of people are loving the transparency of being able to engage with the owners directly and facilitate all their issues and problems throughout the app through the in-app chat, and for the vehicle owners to redeem all their earnings through their in-app wallet, which we built. So it's very, very similar to Airbnb. Now, key achievements here, you're looking at Huawei. We are sponsored by Huawei Cloud. We signed an MOU with them last year in GITEX. We are the first alumni or graduates from the MISC Accelerator program, which is owned and run by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. And we recently signed a global, first of a kind, full API integration deal with Europcar Mobility Group, which is now owned by VW Group, to become their digital transformation arm in 140 countries, hosting 150,000 cars, keeping in mind they already operate with us in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and we've proven to boost their revenue as well as their utilization rates. We also signed recently a global partnership with Avis, whereas as you can see from the platform here, we have categories. So we're creating a car leasing category for them as a marketplace to where they can utilize their car leasing on a full digital experience as their digital transformation partner. When you look at competitive landscape, there's no direct competitor. All my competitors are focusing on one segment. I'm focusing on multiple segments. And my other side of the competitor spectrum is the pay-per-minute model like eCar and Zipcar, whereas I offer my daily rate on my app is a 3-hour rate with Zipcar or eCar. Moving on, the strategic roadmap is now we are currently raising $6 million to basically further fuel our growth as a pre-series A round. And how this money is going to be spent is mostly marketing. You could say 50%. All my tech, everything, we're around 35 employees total. Everything is in-house, nothing is outsourced. So I was very successful with making everything very efficient with a $50,000 to $60,000 cash burn month over month.
Thank
and
you.
To conclude, yeah, well, this is my team. You guys can feel free to download the app and check it out on your own.
Yes, we will. Thank you so much, Omar. Unfortunately, the time is out.
No worries.
I'd request you to please stop screen sharing. And now over to you, Jury.
When it comes to, oh, sorry, thanks for that, Omar, really good. When it comes to, I mean, you've highlighted that a lot of the cash is going to be spent on marketing.
Yeah.
Can you give me a focus on, is that going to be on existing customers or is it going to be on acquiring new customers, and where are those new customers going to be in terms of jurisdiction?
Wonderful, thank you. So the whole deal of Europcar is that they're basically choosing me as their digital transformation arm, offering the solution to every single country that they operate in, which is 140 countries and 150,000 cars in total. So I have access to all of these. I also have access to their marketing channels. So it's an exclusive, not exclusive in a sense where they're the only ones on that level, but exclusive in a sense where they're giving me a lot of perks that they haven't given anyone else. And this is dealing directly with Europcar Mobility Group based out of France. So this money I'm going to need to take and create awareness around URent and why URent in all these countries that I'm going to be launching Europcar's fleet in, so that I could boost their utilization rates and therefore increase my revenue. I make a net of 12.5% on every booking, and that's subject to increase to 15% by the end of the year. And then we also have plans to add subscription model for hosts for listing. There's not a single company in the UAE that's not operating on URent, including the giants being Avis, Thrifty, Dollar, Diamond Lease, and all. Does that answer your question?
Yes, perfect.
So Omar, thanks. When did you start and what has been the traction so far in terms of revenue?
Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick backstory. I founded the company fresh out of master's. So I did my master's in entrepreneurship and leadership, and then I carried on to basically start creating the prototype for URent. I raised around $500,000 pre-seed. That was personal funds, family, and friends. And I managed to build the entire app with that money over a scale of 2 years. So you can say from 2018 up until 2021, I've utilized, and obviously almost got wiped out from COVID. I launched the product with no money to my name, actually. So we also got licensed by the RTA, which took a year and a half. They issued a brand new license for us. But after that launch, we secured another $1 million ticket, which was a seed round from a single investor who's now a director and a board member in the company. And what we've managed to do with this 1 million, obviously, is spend it as wisely as we possibly could. And it's managed to get us up to this point. But obviously we are very tight in terms of bootstrapping now. But you can say that we're on track, given with this existing fundraise, we're on track to basically triple the digits by next year. Does that answer your question?
Sorry,
and also I need to highlight, we only spent $270,000 on marketing channels.
so what's your current kind of monthly run rate?
My monthly burn rate ranges between 50 and 70. That's always based on when rent's due. So whenever rent's due, that it probably hit the higher scale, but it ranges between 50 and 70. My average monthly revenue organically is $500,000 dirhams with no marketing. We've tested it. So you're talking 500,000 running zero marketing, organic. And our highest month recorded running $5,000 only, or $10,000 for a month in marketing. Now that's talking ads. We also ran a lot of influencer campaigns, and we also lost a good chunk of money in the trial and error phase to find out what works and what doesn't for our brand. So our highest month was $296,000, and that was the month of March of this year in revenue.
Cool, thanks. All the best.
Thank you.
Hey, Omar, just one question quickly. So Avis and Europcar are using you for kind of almost like to fill their inventory. Do they give you a preference on their inventory? Can you take their best inventory, or they put the worst inventory for you, and then this is what you can get to sell?
That's a very good question. Thank you for asking that. But let me just elaborate and highlight one point. I am not an aggregator like all the other operators in the market. I've actually built a solution or a marketplace with a fleet management system to cater for both ends, and we're continuing to develop new features every week. But back to what you were saying. In terms of, sorry, can you remind me of the question? I'm so sorry. I just want to make sure I'm answering correctly.
The question is, do you have preference on the inventory, or there is a specific amount of inventory that is specific type and amount of inventory that is kind of?
I'm going to be very honest with you. We're at a point now where they're letting me do. I'm asking for what I want, and they're giving it to me.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Jury. Thank you so much, Omar.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we are now at our final pitch for today, which is always very exciting. So that will be Sis. Hi, Sis. Hi, Annabelle. So can we please have Annabelle on the screen? Okay, just give us a moment. Yes, perfect. Hi, Annabelle. Great to see you. Great to have you.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can I request you to please share your screen?
All right.
Perfect. So before you pitch, a quick reminder, you will have 3 minutes to pitch.
Can you see my screen now?
We are just, I think if you can stop screen sharing and start again. All right, I think we may have a little bit of an internet issue with Annabelle. Can we please stop her spotlight and stop the screen sharing? All right, so we are going to try this again for our final pitch for today, where we have Annabelle. I think she just dropped out with some bad network, so just give us a minute there. And yeah, we have her joining back. Hi, Annabelle. Good to have you back again.
Disconnected.
Great. So I'd ask you to share your screen. And a quick, reminder, we have 3 minutes to pitch, which will be followed by a 4-minute Q&A session. And we can see your screen now. So over to you, Annabelle. Best of luck.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Annabelle. From sis.ae, a sisterhood sharing the dream designer closet. How many times have you heard someone say, okay, I have nothing to wear, whilst looking at their wardrobe that's bursting with outfits? Have you experienced this as well? Well, this is me every time. And last year, while I was preparing for a trip, I'm looking at my wardrobe like this woman here. And all I can think about is, I don't want to wear what I have anymore. But also, I don't want to spend money shopping again. I've shared this problem with my colleagues, and my boss immediately said, I'm happy to loan my coats if they fit you. Coats are expensive, and I've been sat taking space while I haven't traveled. And I thought, that's brilliant. She's my size. I love her style, and her taste and brands are top notch. I got obsessed with the idea of sharing, and I thought, can we normalize this? We can't be the only ones having this problem. The problem of wasted money and endless shopping, because high quality means high price, and fast fashion quality gets destroyed easily, and that drives us to buy more. And currently, shopping is the only option we have. There's no other way aside from linear economy of wasted items. And that's why we have a fast growth of fashion consumption and a fast decline of utilization as well. That drives huge waste problem in the fashion industry. So that's how sis.ae is born. Sis.ae is a community-powered web platform that promotes a sisterhood committed to transforming the way we keep up with the latest designer fashion trends by creating a big sis, little sis bond, making fashion accessible, sustainable, and social. And here are some of our first paying customers and also some of the repeat customers we have. And since sis.ae is a two-sided marketplace, the value of the sisterhood grows as more renters and lenders join the platform. And the network effect here means more lenders give more outfit options that attracts more renters, and more renters give more opportunity to earn, and that attracts more lenders as well. And further in the UAE, the model has been proven already. However, there are just two big players, and they are very niche down to just one category, evening wears. And since sis.ae is a peer-to-peer platform, that enables us to expand and scale the category easily and give an affordable prices, because items are already existing in people's closets anyways. And with the help of my background in accounting and retail, I was able to find creative ways to develop the business model wherein we put the inventory to our advantage and also execute fast and build the working product with very lean and self-funded initial capital. I believe these two helped me get into Founder Institute's Impact and Sustainability Accelerator program that will start next month, and in 5 Tech incubator program that partially subsidize our company registration and office space. Thank you so much for your time. Again, my name is Annabelle, and I'm from sis.ae.
Thank you so much, Annabelle. And I'd request you to please stop screen sharing.
Right.
Perfect. Jury, over to you for our final pitch and final entrepreneur for today.
Quick question around, I guess, the supply chain of everything. I'm guessing there's a fee to rent the clothes, but obviously those clothes have to be returned, they have to be checked, they have to be washed and then rebranded to go back out again. Can you talk me a little bit through that supply chain? Because I want to understand a bit more about how much margin you're making.
Yes. Yes, so sis.ae broadly takes an average of 41% after all the expenses of dry cleaning, shipping, and the insurance that we keep the lenders having the peace of mind. And sis.ae makes the process hassle-free and easy for both renters and for lenders. That for renters, it's just kind of like shopping, basically. And for lenders, it feels like just a friend borrowing from them. And sis.ae covers product listing, research, and also taking care of the products after the rent.
And do you pay for those influencers, or do they do it based on the love of the product?
Yeah, so we have the lender share. We offer the lenders to earn from their existing closets as well, because they have amazing collection of clothes gifted by brands, and also they love shopping. That's why we have the breadth of the assortment in our platform.
And last question, how do you certify these clothes that they're not counterfeit?
Yeah, so for the certification of the products, we partner with Entropy, which is a product on the authentication software, and they provide us with the monthly authentication of number of products per month.
Thank you.
So can you share what have been some of the challenges which you faced? Practical challenges in terms of be it supply chain or customer or lender verification, their credentials, or maybe someone not returning. What are the challenges that you faced?
Yeah, so looking back, I think the challenge that we've experienced mainly is streamlining the process that we have, because we wanted the process to be very hassle-free for both sides. And actually, I think focusing on streamlining the process would enable us to make the process easier, that we won't have any issues with the product getting damaged or lessen those instances. And I think it's a good challenge to have, and also gives the value for SIS.ae that will be difficult to copy as a concept.
Thank you so much, Annabelle, for the pitch. This is more like rent the runway, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Can you advise on, so you manage all the logistics and who takes the risk of the damages to the product?
So
and second, sorry, please go ahead.
Sure. Sorry, you have one question?
Yeah, the other question is this a managed marketplace? Can I see who I'm renting from and then take a transaction offline eventually? So then my next transaction, the repeat transaction, becomes an offline transaction. When I find my list, what is it? What did you call it? The little sister? I just do a transaction offline. Why do I have to keep coming back to it? Or you manage it and people can't see who you're buying from or selling to?
Yeah, so we actually manage the whole process for them, and actually for our lenders, they prefer it this way because this is not their main source of income. Basically, this is a passive income for them because the items are existing in their closets anyway, and we do the whole process. And for lenders that we have currently, they prefer it this way, so then they could focus on their main business. And the first question, can you repeat that, please?
Who manages who takes the risk of damaged product and reverse logistics as well?
Yeah, so SIS.ae covers the risk for the product as well, but we have a very streamlined process on how it would cover each render. So whenever there's damage that is below 2,250 dirhams, SIS.ae covers that. Beyond that, it could be on the deposit that we take from the renders. And yeah.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Jury. Thank you so much, Annabelle.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone. That were our pitches for today. And it was very, very exciting pitches that we've had. So a huge shout out to all of our entrepreneurs. And what we will be doing now after our pitches are over, our Q&A is over, and our final pitch for today's event has also been completed. The jury will now proceed to another breakout room for a quick deliberation session. So I will request our team to please assist the jury into the breakout room. And I'll invite the jury to now take some time and deliberate for our winners for today's event. So we are just sending our jury to another room. And all of our entrepreneurs, I request you to please just continue staying in the main room. Okay, wonderful. So our jury is off deliberating and talking it out who's going to win ESG UAE National Finals. Even though for us, it really is about our community and network building. So first, we'd just like to say a huge thank you to all of our entrepreneurs who have come here and pitched and been part of the ESG UAE event and will continue to be part of the ESG ecosystem and the ESG network that we're building. And while we wait for our jury deliberation, we would like to show you a couple videos that would give you a better flavor of what we do at ESG. And we'll also introduce to you the World's To-Do list a bit more in detail. As I mentioned before, we are the accelerator to the World's To-Do list, which is a initiative that was launched during the 76th United Nations General Assembly in 2021. But first, let's take a sneak peek into ESG 2021 and ESG 2020.
I'm Shivani Dandekar, joining you from the T-Gelf Stadium, the virtual venue where the greatest event in the history of entrepreneurship will be hosted in the week to come. It's got everything you expect from big sport, passion, fierce competition, fans, cities pitted against cities, countries competing against countries, loyalties and support. Keep the energy high as we move closer to the date.
So that was a bit about Entrepreneurship Sports Generation in 2020 and Entrepreneurship Sports Generation 2021, the global finals. I'd also like to show you a bit about the World's To-Do list. So let's see and learn about that as well. Great. Thank you for those videos. And we are going to continue taking this mini break while our jury deliberates. And I'll request you in the meantime to all of our entrepreneurs to kindly share their social media handles on the chat. So your LinkedIn profiles, your other social medias, whatever you prefer. We would love to tag you in our posts that we'll be putting in the next couple of days. And also of the organization, so your startup as well. Please go ahead and put that in the chat while we wait for our jury to be back in a couple of minutes. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Please just continue putting your social media handles. And really, it's been such a great event with ESG UAE. Have had all of you entrepreneurs coming from different backgrounds, some a little bit similar, but or really what we do here is have all of our entrepreneurs coming from idea stage to early stage, growth stage, late stage, to come here and pitch, to come here and be part of the ESG network and really the ESG movement that we have been building, coming from various sectors from all across the world. And having you be part of this as well is just absolutely wonderful and a real pleasure for us. We will still be waiting for a couple more minutes. And the way that we do our events and the way that we have structured the entire entrepreneurship sports generation competition, like I mentioned earlier today. So our winners from the UAE National Finals will be going on to the Asia Confederations, and then we'll be competing from the different national finalists and entrepreneurs in the Asia level. And then you would be going to the global finals pool, following which we will have our 12 entrepreneurs at the global finals competing to win Entrepreneurship Sports Generation 2022. So just really excited to see what's going to be the next step, who's going to join the ESG confederations. But for us, and we will continue to, of course, give you updates. And once you're part of our community and network, support our entrepreneurs. So even though we will be announcing our winners for today, for us, all of you guys are our winners. And we really do appreciate all of the time that you've taken out and all of the excellent pitches that we have witnessed today. I think the jury will be taking another 2-3 minutes. And if you haven't already, I'll request you to please share your social media handles. And if you do have any questions, I'll request you to please put them in the chat. And we'll just take a mini break while we wait for our jury to be back in the main room. Thank you. Hello, everyone. So just a quick, wanted to jump in and say that our jury is taking a couple more minutes. And I think there's quite some, intense deliberations taking place because I think we've had some excellent entrepreneurs pitch today. So I'll request you to just continue to please be patient with us for a couple more minutes and just, take a breather, take a break, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you. Okay, great. So I think our jury is done with the deliberation, and we will be having them join the main room. And this is really, the exciting moment of the event, where, of course, everyone has done such an incredible job. But we will be seeing who will go to the next round, and we'll just wait for our jury to be here. As all our jury is here, all our entrepreneurs are here as well. Wonderful. Welcome back, jury. I hope you had a good jury deliberation, and we will now be announcing our winners as well. Great, amazing. So I think we are ready to be towards the end of our event for today. And, it has been such an exciting event. So I want to first, really thank all of our entrepreneurs and our jury, and of course, our partner, Mr. Al Nawais, to have this event, ESG UAE, this year. And we will now announce 2 participants that will be winners of today's competition, and we'll be moving to the next round. We will also have one special mention. But before that, we'd like to take a moment to thank all of our contestants so much for all your stellar pitches. We wish everyone the very best on the path towards conscious and sustainable entrepreneurship. And we welcome you to be part of the ESG ecosystem. Thank you so much. And now, without further ado, and for the moment we're all been waiting for, with a little bit of a drum roll from my side, the ESG 2020 UAE winner is My Ciara. Amazing. Congratulations, Chiranj.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Can we spotlight Chiranj, please?
I think I just got spotlighted. Wow, that's great. That's really exciting to hear.
Great. We're really, really excited for you. And we welcome you to ESG Asia Confederations. Would you like to say any few words?
Absolutely. I think that it was a real pleasure pitching alongside such great entrepreneurs, as well as pitching to such a sound jury. I'm really excited as soon as I heard about this platform. I feel like this is exactly what this region needs. And yeah, excited to bring more success to this region and representing it.
Wonderful. We are sure you're going to do an excellent job in the future to represent the region, and more success and power to you. Thank you so much, Chiranj. A huge congratulations again. And the other winner for ESG UAE National Finals, that will be going to the ESG Asia Confederations, with a little bit of a drum roll from my side, is Alma Health. Incredible. Congratulations to Alma Health. Can we please spotlight?
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's an honor.
Yes. Can we please spotlight Khaldun? Hi, Khaldun. Congratulations.
Hi.
Congratulations. Over to you for a few words.
Thank you so much. It's a real honor. It's been a pleasure being part of the ecosystem. It's a pleasure to pitch to the jury, to everybody on the call. This is really, really awesome. I want to echo what my colleague had said. This is great news for the region, and we're very, very excited. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Khaldun, and congratulations from our side. And we look forward to seeing you at the ESG Asia Confederations. And we would also like to have a special mention today from our entrepreneurs. Really, all of you guys have done incredible, but we would like to take a moment to mention CISA.ae. Congratulations, Annabelle. It's an absolutely wonderful to have you pitch with us, to be part of ESG. Can we please spotlight Annabelle as well? I think Annabelle has dropped with a bad internet, but no worries. Congratulations to Annabelle for her pitch today. And I would really like to just spotlight all of our juries for today, because it really would not have been possible, jury, for, you know, all your expertise and invaluable support. So I'd like to thank you, all of our jury members. It's been such an absolute pleasure, and also for us to learn from the way that you, you know, ask questions from the pitches and the way that you did your jury deliberation. So over to you, jury. I'd request you to please say a few words.
Happy to go first if it's okay with everybody, so that I can be done also very quickly. It's actually been a pleasure to be invited to be a jury member alongside an esteemed panel of judges at the ESG 2022. It's also been great to hear all of you founders pitch. It was a close call as we deliberated on these pitches. I hope you all continue to build fabulous companies, and may the force be with you.
Yeah, to complement what Ali said, it's been a pleasure being on the ESG with everybody. It's been very well organized, very streamlined. Well done for all the founders. As I said, some really good companies. And as you saw, you guys were waiting. We didn't rush it. We took our time because it wasn't easy, like anything. But we're all believers in this market, and hopefully the top two guys can go out there and make a name for us. So really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Thanks, ESG team, for setting this up, and very well coordinated and organized. Great to meet my friends again, as part of the jury panel, and kind of evaluate all the pitches. But best wishes to all the founders. I think some great ideas, some great opportunities, going forward, and look forward to kind of seeing your progress, seeing how kind of you do well going forward. And if there's any way we can help support, happy to be of any help to you guys. Wish you all the best, and best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, jury. I'll request you to just stay on for a moment, because I'd also like us to spotlight Mr. Al-Nawais and Kirti, who have also, without their invaluable support, we would not have been able to do today's event. So thank you so much, Mr. Al-Nawais, for being our partner and getting ESG to the MENA region. We really, really appreciate it, and it's been an absolute pleasure. We hope to have a stronger, continued collaboration in the future.
Thank you so much, Yash, for setting this up and putting all this effort, since we started. Thank you to all the startups. Thank you to all the judges. And I just wanted to highlight that next year, it will be set up maybe a bit more organized, and we're thinking of doing it a physical event. I cannot promise you that. It's based on ESG, of course, and their guidelines and their policies. However, most probably, we're thinking of doing this a physical event. So I just wanted to add this comment, and thank you so much for everything.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. It's we are very happy to have set foot in the MENA region, and we are looking forward to doing a physical event in ESG UAE next year. So I'd just like to say thank you all for taking out the time and being part of ESG UAE. It's been an absolute, wonderful pleasure of mine to do this event with all of you. And I would just like to say that we are just, we definitely value all of the time and support that you have given us. And to all of our entrepreneurs as well, a huge congratulations. To our jury member, a huge shout out of appreciation, and to our partner Ahmed as well. And I'd now like to just say that we look out to seeing you all join us at the ESG Asia Confederations. So please keep out for the information that we'll be providing you, and look forward to seeing you there. And until then, thank you from my side, and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.